future editing Lucas here very quickly before the video starts. There's a few hot takes in this video. I don't want to upset anybody, so trigger warning, I guess, if you want to call it that. Yo, this is just another update video, kinda following on from where I left it last time, but also just another rant because yesterday I had a pretty bad day, so I just need to get some things off my chest, I guess. I don't know if my audio is recording or not. I've been trying to figure it out, but it's pissing me off, so at this point I just hit record. And if we have some good audio, then that's a good thing, and if we don't, then sorry about this. I'm gonna start the video out with a bong rip. I had every intention of vaping today, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been craving a blunt for like the past over a month, and I found a little cigar that I weren't saving it for any particular reason. Actually, I'd been avoiding smoking it because it was kind of gross, and I reviewed it a long time ago. I think it's like over a year or so old, maybe even two, but I found it and I wanted a blunt, so I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna have a blunt. And what's dirtier than just smoking a straight up blunt is putting a blunt in a bong. That's fucking disgusting. But that's what I'm going to do today. This is actually my first smoke of the day. It's currently 35 minutes past 1. Some frozen lemon haze. This is actually pretty decent from Aurora in cherry, I want to say Hamilton, but I don't even know what brand of blunt it is. Fuck it. Cheers. Oh, there's a hair sticking out of it. Okay, right. Blunt in a bong. Dirty to begin with, but I draw the line at a hair sticking out of it. That's just fucking grim. Just pulling my curtain across a bit more because my neighbour is literally fucking there on the other side of the fence and I can't be arsed with her at all today. That actually didn't taste anywhere near as bad as I thought it was gonna. It was actually quite pleasant. So if you watched my last update video, you'll know that I have not been doing too well recently. My mental health has been pretty damn piss poor, to be honest with you, and I've been stressed because I've had an appointment. Well, I had 3 appointments yesterday, all of them in London at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital for my bottom surgery. If you don't know that I'm trans by now, I am. Yeah, so been waiting for that for a very, very long time. It's very fucking stressful. I live up north, and obviously London is down south, so it takes ages to get there on train. Trains are really fucking expensive. London in general is expensive, and surgery is stressful. It's just like a lot of shit that all builds up, and you expect things to go a certain way, and when they don't go that way, it just throws the entire operation off. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it because when things don't work out the way that I want them to, I just repeat things over and over and over in my brain. And like, I'm just pissed off at myself for being a fucking idiot. Like, I'm just gonna launch into it. Bottom surgery, the type that I'm going for is metoidioplasty. If you don't know what that is, Google it. I'm not going to be explaining any shit in this video. Anything that you don't know what it is, use Google. If you ask me questions in the comments, I don't mean to be a dick, but sometimes people ask me the most fucking stupid questions. Like, I'll make an entire video on one subject, and then people will ask me a question that I answered in the first 30 seconds of the video, you know? It's just, like, it's stupid sometimes. So if you want to know anything, just fucking Google it. I'm not answering questions unless it's something specifically about me and not just about bottom surgery or being trans in general, you know? So, I don't even care if I sound like a knobhead for saying that. Literally, Google's there for a reason. So, I got my appointments through like a month ago, which is not a lot of time in advance. You may think that it is, like it sounds like a month is plenty of time to prepare, but it's not. For the 3 appointments on the same day in the morning, my first appointment was at 20 past 10. I think we got to the hospital at like 10:15. My train was at, I want to say like I think it was at like 20 past 22 minutes. I've got 22 minutes past 7 in my head, so I'm just going to go with that. So 22 minutes past 7 in the morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. to get ready. I didn't go to sleep until like gone 1 the previous night. It's just anxiety, bro. And traveling, and you're supposed to arrive to the hospital with a comfortably full bladder, is what they say, because you have to do this thing called a Euroflow test, where it is basically you sit on a chair that's got a big funnel in the middle of it, and there's a jug on a set of weighing scales, and you piss into this funnel, and it like weighs your piss and how fast you piss. And I am really, really pee shy. I've always been pee shy. And it's only gotten worse, like, after coming out as trans, because obviously, like, bathrooms are a whole issue for trans people. Like, it doesn't matter how much you pass, or at least to me, it doesn't matter how much you pass. If you go to the actual toilet stall in the men's bathroom and you piss in it, it's just seen as weird, because, like, why aren't you going to a urinal? Like, I'm not going to a urinal because I don't have a dick, bro, but I'm not going to say that. And, like, nobody's going to ask you or question you, but it's just really awkward, and it makes me feel fucking horrible. And I always have this thing where, like, I'm in the toilet, and if it's quiet, and there's, like, maybe, like, 2 or 3 other dudes in the bathroom all pissing in urinals, and I'm there just pissing in the toilet, like, my brain's like, it's stupid. I'm pretty sure all trans people have this thought. They're like, oh, your piss sounds like a girl's piss, so they're gonna come in and beat the fuck out of you because they know you're trans. So it's like, I can't piss. Like, I'm just really fucking pee shy. If somebody's outside the door waiting for the stall, I can't piss. Even if someone's in the bathroom not bothered about what the fuck I'm doing, if they think I'm taking a shit or whatever, I can't piss. So you can imagine my frustration when I'm going into this bathroom to piss in this jug, and there's 3 people outside the door, and I know they're waiting for me to piss. They're watching me piss on this computer screen, which I didn't actually think about until I had to do it for a second time. We'll talk about that in a second. So the first time I go in there, and I don't know why this happens, but my brain, like, obviously I find it hard to piss in the first place, so I start to piss, and then it's like my brain catches up with me, and it's like, oh no, they know you're pissing now, so I stop, and then I like have to relax, and then I start again, and I manage to piss, like I've almost filled up the fucking jug. It's TMI, I don't care. So I do it, and I leave, and I'm like, sound, we're done. And it's not until like later on the like other things happen. Like, I don't even care. I'm gonna say it because I don't give a fuck, actually. Like, so when you reach 26 in the UK, I don't know how it works anywhere else, if you are biologically female, you are supposed to go and get a smear test, which is where they like swab your cervix. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, genuinely. And they scrape the cells with a big swab, and they send them off to a lab, and you get tested for cervical cancer, and they make sure everything's healthy. And you're supposed to go, I don't even know how often, maybe like once a year. I don't think it's even once a year, I think it's every few years or whatever. Don't quote me on this, I don't know. And obviously, I'm 29 years old, and I have a cervix. So, I didn't expect to actually get, like, I feel like I'm gonna cry, but it's, and I also feel like I'm gonna throw up, because it's horrible. Like, this is what being trans is. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says about, like, gender euphoria, and, fucking annoyed at myself, you know? Like, other people can be proud and out and loud and all this sort of shit, but when it comes down to it at the end of the day, like, this is what it feels like for me to be trans, and I don't understand anybody else that says, like, that, let's just fucking call them what they are. They're women who cut their hair short and tape their tits up for a day, and they go around being like, oh yeah, I'm trans and this is great, and you don't need to have surgery, and we can all, like, just do whatever we want and be full-on women and call ourselves trans. But, like, at the end of the fucking day, my experience of being trans is I can't even think about my internal organs without wanting to throw up. So, like, this whole fucking thing yesterday is just, like, really distressing and horrible, and I haven't really had time to process it, because when I was in the clinic, my first appointment, overwhelming. I literally just got there, I get called in, and the first thing he says to me is, I will not operate on you until you have an up-to-date, clean smear. And I really thought, and this is really fucking stupid, you can have the nicest doctor or the nicest nurse in the world, but nothing that they say to me is going to make me comfortable in that moment. So I know that I only need to go and do it once, and then it'll be gone forever and I never have to do it again. But I'm so uncomfortable that I just don't want to do it. I'm aware that doctors need to use anatomically correct terms, and I have never been the type of person that's been like, no, don't say that when it comes to medical appointments, because, like, that's your body and that's what you've got, and it doesn't matter how much you don't like it, which is another thing. Like, I know I'm probably going to get fucking million transphobic comments on this, but, like, I know what I've got, and that's exactly why I'm having these appointments. Like, do you know? Yes, I understand, and that's why I'm going through with this. I know what I've got. I know my own body. I know what's there. Nobody's denying it. Nobody's saying that I don't have these things. I know, right? And that's why I'm taking the steps to have them removed. So, like, anatomically correct terms don't bother me. But it's just weird, because I went with my boyfriend when he had all of his appointments, and it was like 2 years ago. And it's, I think maybe, I don't know, I just didn't really gel with him too well. And it's not because he told me that he wasn't going to operate on me until I went and got a smear test, because, like, that's fine. I understand that. I just don't think I vibed with him. I don't know if it's me. I have a lot of anxiety. I'm almost certain that I'm autistic. And I don't do well in these kinds of situations, and I don't feel like, I don't know, I just feel a bit weird about him. I remember his conversation that he had with my partner when he went for his, and he seemed like, it's nice, a nicer person, and then when I went in, I didn't really just sort of gel with him. There was a moment when he was doing the scan on my pelvis or whatever it is, and then he sort of, like, was going over my stomach, and I've got a hairy stomach. It's not like the hairiest thing in the world, but I've got hair on my stomach, and he was like, yeah, you're gonna need to trim that when I operate on you. And I don't know if I'm just reading into the situation because I didn't like it, but I don't know, maybe he was being jokey, but I just sort of took it as bitchy. And I also, like, I don't, kind of related, but also unrelated, like, I don't understand why a lot of gynecologists are gay men. You know, that's always something that I don't understand. Like, if you don't like it, why are you specialising in it, sort of thing. But yeah, that's just something I was thinking of. That's something that I thought of the first time I met as well, at the other appointment. That wasn't for me. But, yeah, I don't know whether I just didn't vibe with him, or whether I have taken a disliking to him because of what he said to me. I don't expect medical professionals to be Like I said before, I don't expect him to beat around the bush. I expect him to be direct, and I expect him to tell me what they expect of me and what to expect from them. But like sometimes, if you don't vibe with someone, you don't really want them to be in charge of slicing you open and taking your bits out. But yeah, the main thing is that, obviously, but the main thing that just annoyed me, I was going to say pissed me off, which would have been ironic, it's just like that, the fact that I couldn't piss. Like, why is it such a big fucking deal to me? Like, they want me to do it again because they wanted just one continuous long piss, which is never gonna fucking happen because that just doesn't happen normally anyway. Like, I just get anxious. So I tried to do it again, and at that point I just could not piss at all. I was stood in this room, this little toilet, having a fucking breakdown, trying not to cry and trying not to have a panic attack because I couldn't piss in a fucking jug. And I'd gone all that way, and it's not cheap, and it's a big thing. Like, people that aren't from London don't quite realise how daunting London can be. And I hate London. I hate going to London. It's a horrible, awful place. Having to pay so much money and waiting such a long time for something so important. You get one chance, and I fucked it up. And then I've got to go back in 2 months to do it again. And then what if I can't do it then? It is taking every last little inch of my willpower not to just spiral into just like fucking depression and being paranoid and just giving up, basically. I want to give up, but you know, I feel fucking stupid at the end of the day. I feel stupid. I feel so dysphoric. It's just absolutely crazy. Like, I can't even begin to explain what it feels like. Like, it's not really a case of, oh, my dysphoria is worse than your dysphoria, but when it comes down to it, I guess it is, actually. I just sort of, like, I keep doing this, like, I just keep curling in on myself in the hopes that I feel like a fucking armadillo. I'm just gonna roll into a ball, and I'm just gonna stay there. I also found out that I have polycystic ovaries, which dude said doesn't actually mean anything for me because I have no intention of having children and I intend on getting rid of them anyway. So that doesn't matter. But it's just, you know, one of those things that you hear and you're like, weird. Okay. Like, doesn't have an effect on me. It's not affecting me now, and I don't know how long they've been like that, so it doesn't matter, but it's just weird to think about. It just kind of makes me feel like, you know, when you hear people say, and you read comments from people being like, everything you're doing is wrong and disgusting, and you're harming yourself. It just kind of makes you think, yeah, like, something is seriously wrong with me. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this. You know, if I could just be a normal person, I wouldn't be doing this. So there must be something physically wrong in here for me to feel like I have to do all of this. And I wish I didn't. And I don't think people understand that. Because if there was the fucking magic switch or the magic pill that was just like, yeah, you can wake up tomorrow and you could just be like a normal cis woman and you won't feel like you go back, you take a pill and you go back to before you transitioned, except you don't feel like shit every single day and you're just a normal cis woman. And you take that pill and you're just like, yeah, sound, I would fucking do it. Because, like, if there wasn't something seriously fucking wrong with me, I wouldn't be doing all this. And it's moments like this that I'm just like, I don't understand how other people can call themselves transgender and then say that they don't feel like this all the time. You know, it does not compute with me. It just really doesn't. And you can say that it's just literally self-hatred. It's like you hate yourself so much that you can't stand to see that other people don't need to do what you do to feel good about themselves. But, you know, it's weird. It's one of them, really. I don't understand it. I don't understand myself, you know. I don't understand myself. And I know other trans people don't understand it. None of us understand it. I speak to other trans people. I know other trans people. I'm obviously friends with other trans people. And they all say the same fucking thing. You know, like, we wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't something wrong with us. And we, you know, just don't understand why people... I don't know, I'm getting off track. The whole thing is, I'm sad. I don't like myself. There's something wrong with me. And I'm trying to take it out on other people, I guess. My appointment didn't go how I wanted it to go. Yeah, everybody else was nice. Everybody else I spoke to. But for some reason my body just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to fucking do. So I'm posting another video today. I guess in the semi-hopes that this gets buried and people watch the other one. And I can just leave this little rant out there, put it out into the ether. This is the first video that I've recorded where I've let Benji in my room instead of putting him in his crate. And he's just laid on the floor the entire time and not moved and being really good. And I don't know if you've heard his sleepy puppy sighs in the background. But he's being very good right now. You want a sneak peek at the bench? I don't know if you can see him. He's there. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll end it on a good note. Oh, do you know what? No, I'm going to rant a little bit more and then I'll end it on a good note. Every time we go to London for an appointment like that, we go to the bagel shop across the road. I don't know whether it's called B Bagel, but we just call it B Bagel because it is literally like the letter B and then bagel. And they do good bagels there, so I tend to always get the salt beef one because it's banging. This is real first world problems here. I went to my free NHS appointment and then I went and treated myself to a bougie bagel that turned out to be not good for the first time ever. Well, second time, but it was not a salt beef one that I got, that was bad. Yeah, so I was feeling like shit, and then I went and ate my bagel that was soggy. They put too much sauce on it, and there was like lumps of fat on it. So that just annoyed me even more. And then And what did we do after that? We went to beautifully romanticized summer Youngblood shop. Brat. We went there. And it was cool, but it was a little bit underwhelming. There wasn't much there. There was like one of every piece of clothing out, so I'm assuming you had to point and say, I want to try that one, and then they would go and get your size and you could go and try it on. It's quite small. I wanted to buy a blood beer, but they weren't for sale yet. I just wanted like just one can to try, and then like one can to keep, but they weren't for sale, so I couldn't even buy anything. Everything was expensive too, in case you were wondering. They had like leopard print. If I can put the clip in, I will, if I can find it. Leopard print starfish that just like didn't sit right with me. They freaked me out and I didn't like them. I don't know why. Really did not like them. And now my camera keeps falling down again. But yeah, we went there, and then we went to Brewdog, 7 Dials I think it was called, and we had a pint in there. And then we went to Brewdog Waterloo, and we played ping pong for like an hour, and that was the only good thing that happened yesterday. That was really fun, playing ping pong in Brewdog and Waterloo. I wanted to go down the slide, but there was too many children. I didn't want to look weird. Yeah, ping pong really saved the day. Cheered me up, but I still feel shit and stupid, because like, how hard is it to just piss in a jug, right? It's really not difficult, but I can't even do that. So I basically just paid like nearly £300 for train tickets to go down to London to piss wrong and then go home. And that's what that feels like. And now I have to go back in 2 months, so like probably October, November time, to piss in a jug again, knowing with the knowledge that I can't piss in a jug when I'm under pressure. And I just keep circling and 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 circling around in my head. I probably should have picked something else other than frozen lemon haze, because a sativa right now, yes, a sativa right now. Sometimes I think I just sabotage myself on purpose, you know. Anyway, if you haven't watched my other video, I recorded it like, I don't even remember when I recorded it, at least 3 or 4 days ago at this point. First time trying the sourdough resin vape. It's really pissing me off. First time trying the sourdough resin. I'll link it somewhere, probably at the end of this video. Go check that out. Leave a like on that video. Leave a comment on that video, which is related to that video, because I don't understand why people go on videos where I'm talking about medical cannabis and then being like, oh my god, are you trans? Like, not relevant. Not relevant at all. I'm not going to reply to that. Don't be silly. Yeah, go watch that video. Sorry about this one. I've gone through the stage of being upset about it, and now I'm just annoyed and embarrassed that I almost cried again in another video. Peace.